Well, a very warm welcome and good afternoon here at the Aurora Golf Resort. It's day 3 coverage of the second edition of the Aurora World Championship. It was Kim Min-joo leading coming into today by 1 over EA1, but look at how that leaderboard has shuffled around. 3 straight drop shots from Min-joo leaves her now in a share of 4th. It's a 3-way tie at the top. The surging Kim Soo-ji. Lee Ji-hyun seeking a first tour title. She's 2 under through 6. Year 1 trading a birdie against a bogey to leave her where she began the weekend. And look at the name of 20-time KLPGA Tour winner Park Min-ji, just 1 shot back, sneaking up that leaderboard. I'm Timothy Lowe. Great to have you along the ride here on Moving Day. Now, Bang Shin-sil had to battle to try and keep herself in the conversation late yesterday, but couple over par for her 3rd round, and that poorly played pitch at 12 is going to do little to ease the suffering of the reigning match play champion. 180 million Korean won up top for the champion. Jang Eun-soo had it rolling yesterday, but she, like the overnight leader Min-joo, couple over par, or 1 over par for the round thus far. Good chance to balance the books. This a birdie putt on the par 5 7th. We've seen the par 5s at the Aurora Resort yield a number of birdies throughout the course of the week thus far, so really are the key to scoring here. This one down the hill, moving off her right. Okay, nice little bounce back for Jang Eun-soo, returns her to 7 under par. Very congested leaderboard. Fist bump tells you she knows how things stand. 3 at 9, 3 at 8, 4 at 7 under par. Here's Kim Soo-ji, 6-time winner on tour, getting into the time of the year where she really starts to find her groove. 6 of her wins have come in the second half of the season. That maybe just a club deep into the 9th. Looks like the breeze is starting to pick up a little bit for these players on Saturday. A wind that was non-existent through the first 36 holes. Ji-hyun, a par saver from around 4 feet at the 7th. Nicely managed. And a couple of top 10s already this season. Ji-hyun chasing that elusive breakthrough title. Good overhead view of what the players face at this 7th. Dog legs around that fall off down the right hand side of this fairway. Those trees that frame the edge of the starboard side really can mess with players' minds. Here's EA1, pulled a tee shot into the left rough. Steady start to Saturday for her. 2nd shot now, but you've got to make sure you keep this one left of the branches. Plenty of height on it. Just a little shy, but leaves it in a decent spot, short of that green. Picked up her 10th year title back at the beginning of the year. Kim Seo-mi, charted territory for her. Never won the KLPGA Tour. Threads the needle. Has she got the legs? Not quite. Been a good day so far for Park Min-ji. A little trouble here. She's going to have that to try and save par. Get out of position slightly here with some of the slopes you see in these greens at Aurora Resort. Can be made to look a little silly. Been a real strange one for Kim Min-joo. Thus far, the overnight leader picked up an early birdie, but 3 straight drop shots since. It's now left her as the chaser. 3rd shot to 7. And some trouble off the tee, forcing her to lay it up. Oh, but that's better. That's much better. I noted yesterday the greens certainly look a little bit firmer than they were on day one, and it seems that trend has continued. That ball barely had any grab on it whatsoever. We'll give her an opportunity for a birdie coming up. Not a single player in that final group under par for their round so far. Yeowon going along the best at even. Back to ENG at the par 3 8th. Not quite stone dead yet. Within a shot of the lead with a birdie at 7, but she's going to give back at least one after her misadventures on this par 3. Tied for the most ever wins on the KLPGA Tour at 20 with the great Shin Ji-ai and the late Ok Gi-hun. Let's go to Park Hyun-kyung on what looks like the 11th hole. Out a little there, thought that was going to keep moving right, just stayed straight on her. She's at 4 under and really not out of the equation yet. A lot of golf to play, a lot of birdie opportunities out there. And when you're heading into Championship Sunday, if you're 5 shots off the lead, you always feel like you still have a reasonable chance. She's 5 back at the moment. Now Minji to try and salvage a bogey out of the situation on the 8th. Oh, and it's going to be an ugly double bogey 5. It's a real momentum halter. Undoes all her hard work. Back to 6 under she goes. Depends on the lie for Seiromi, short of this 7th green. Everything kicks away from her and to the right. It's going to keep feeding, It's pretty well managed. That's the hot lady on the golf course at the moment, Suji, to hit the turn at 5 under. Not quite going to have the pace, but that is a very solid outward half for Suji. Never a player that really shows too much emotion. Yeowon keeps a very level head, pretty cool customer. She's always been pretty handy with a wedging hand around the greens. This is a shot that's going to require a little touch. Much like Kim Se-ro-mi, just want to send it up on that high line. About 10-15 feet left of the hole, and then it should start to funnel to the right down towards the pin. Maybe pitched a little softer than she would have liked, but it's still going to release out to about 4.5 feet. Pretty good. Into at the 8th, and the longest it has been all week, 190 meters. That whole location, can't afford to miss this green left. That's pretty good, and getting better. And you take that all week long. Lovely tee shot. So Suji trying to tidy things up for her par at 9. It's been a very impressive front side for Kim Soo-ji. It's to the 10th tee with a share of the lead. Minju, meanwhile, at the opposite end of the momentum spectrum. This would certainly help calm her down a little bit. Chance to regain a share of the top spot. It's left her on 7. Hasn't hit it, just hasn't hit it. We've seen this a little from Kim Min-joo this season. She's got these great rounds like we saw on Thursday. You can't miss. You're hitting great shots, giving yourself good opportunities. The putter's working, and then you've got rounds like these where you just feel like you're stuck in neutral. Up to 8 with Lee Ji-hyun. Try and turn that club face over, put a little draw spin on it, but luckily pitch is quite soft on the front edge. That's going to be a lengthy birdie try. Kim Seo-mi. Minju a chance to get herself up into a share of the top spot. Becoming a little downhill for Kim, so don't have to worry about getting it to the hole. Just about trying to pick out that line. If anything, maybe just start this on the right edge. Oh, didn't like it. Did not like it. Knew it the moment she hit it that hit started left. That's a great chance going by the wayside. He's had a pretty solid Saturday, couple under for her round, chance to pick up another shot with his slippery birdie putt at the 10th. No stranger to the winner's circle, this young lady. 9 victories on tour, a couple of them some of the big majors here in South Korea. She's in the hunt. One. Move herself into red figures to get out in front by herself. Not much movement in this putt, just a case of hitting it hard enough to hold its line. Okay, that's a tidy up and down. EA1 hits the front at the Aurora World Championship. Got that breakthrough title at the M Financial Group Open last year. Contended on a number of occasions, but I just feel like consistency has been her key, as I was mentioning earlier. Started the weekend with a one-shot lead over EA1. This one goes in, she's going to be trailing by 2. That Lee Ji-hyun's left herself here on 8. Won't be complaining with a 2-putt from this length. Just got to shake off a little misstep on the 8th. Here she is at 9. Turn one in from right to left. The slope's going to help her do that. Oof. Overdoes it. Into the trap she goes, and let's hope that's not plugged. Here's Salkyo Rim looking to make inroads into that big lead that Kim Min-sol has over her on the money list and the points list. Min-sol not here this week. She's over contesting the EIG Women's British Open at Royal Leatherman St. Anne, sadly missing the halfway cut there at 7 over par. Kyorim trying to make hay while the sun shines. That one just coming up a little shy. Talk about that EIG Women's British Open. How about the run that former KLPGA Tour star Yuhei Ran has been on, winning back-to-back majors at the KPMG Women's PGA and then the Evian Championship in that dramatic playoff over Brooke Henderson. Heiran leading by 1 with 36 holes to play at the Women's British Open, looking for 3 major titles in a row. How her game has trended in the upward direction since taking her trade over to the LPGA Tour, with the very best in the game played. After that really nice tee shot from Zhang Ensu at 8, she's given herself an outside look, and a decent look, it has to be said, for a birdie at this difficult par 3. But should be coming gently up the slope and maybe just falling off a little right in the midpoint. Should remain pretty straight at the end though. That's heartbreaking. Such a good roll, looked good, but it's only going to be a par. Just the way that Minjee is surveying that situation seems to indicate that lie isn't brilliant. What's this? She's got a putter out. Stay tuned, folks. This could get very interesting. Yeah, she has got a putter out. Tell you what, I'd love for there to be a camera on the other side of that green, just so we could see what it looked like. She's extricated herself well. Really creative shot, but man, how bad was her lie for her to want to get a putter out of the greenside bunker through some rough? Very curious indeed. So Ji-hyun for a par to stay one back. That's a nice 2-putt from long range. Keeps E. Ji-hyun at 9 under. This is the lady we are now chasing, Ye-won, in control of this championship and all alone at 10 under par on the 8th tee. Just about trying to stay in the present here. Uncharted territory for Kim Se-ro Mi. Looked a little late, tried to save it with the hands at the bottom, but this one hitting a little right. Oh, that is an awful miss. A long bunker shot across the width of that green. Not easy at all. To the 9th, and Jung Eun-soo going with driver. Fairway shapes nicely from right to left here. Get one turning, catch a little extra roll. Those times you just have to dig deep, try and find something. Grimace, that's okay. All the way over to the right edge of the tee box. This 9th. Suji standing on the cart path at 10 because I assume the lie is pretty good in that left rough. Not able to get much spin coming from that rough, but it holds on the fringe, and it's a makeable putt, especially in the mood that she's in today. And the action has been captivating so far, and we're still just in the closing stages of the front 9. Yewon leads by 1 on Saturday at the Aurora Resort. Seironi bunkered a long one here at the par 3 8th, trailing by 2. Greenside trap, a 4 was always going to be the likely result. Still giving herself half a chance to walk away unscathed as we go up to the 9th and Jung Eun-soo. Actually on this angle, leaves the ball above her feet. She's also off a slight downslope, so that'll flatten out the trajectory slightly. Just crest the first ridge, should start to feed left from there. Pretty well played shot. Had the line. Should be a rock solid par. Below right, telling you how severe that downslope is. Trying to play a similar shot to Jung Eun-soo. This one carrying a little bit more steam. Certainly send a message to the chasers. Oh, wasn't a million miles off. Like I said, you hear players complaining about pars on this difficult par 3. Suchi mentioned this was pretty makeable. Just about getting that ball rolling smoothly through the first 5 feet of fringe. Took a little hobble, but it's holding its line, and Kim Soo-ji, just like that, gets herself back into a share of the lead. Game on with EA1. Quite the escape for Kim. It's going to just stay outside. The tee shot leads to another drop shot for Seironi. Let's go to Dion now. This will be the 11th. Short of the green in 2 at this par 5. Oh, almost jars it for an eagle. And that birdie will inch her ever closer. Still 100% focus for Kim Min-ju's par putt. Okay, safely in. get back to 9 and EG Hyun. Can she make it 3 at 10 under par? Oh, lovely try. Just burns the high side of the cup. She may not know it, but she's got company. 10 under par. Couple of those full swings have looked a little steery from Kim Min-joo so far. She plays her best when she's got this reckless, aggressive abandon. Very quick through the ball. See if she can stick the finish with this tee ball on 9. Looked a little better. Seemed a lot more comfortable with that. Yeah, that's perfect. Knows this putt moves from left to right, but not quite as much as Lee Ji-hyun thought. Oh, just didn't hit it. It had the line, just pulls up shy. Now drops her 3 back. Your co-leaders. Still 10 holes to play for Kim Se-ro-mi, although looking like she's tugged this one a little too much. Needs a friendly kick and gets it. Go ahead to 12. Check in on Lee Dae-yeon after that tap-in birdie on 11 has taken her to 8 under par. hours to go, and just the fact that she's, all three players in fact, a bit closer to that left side of the fairway means the lies are a little bit more level. Still all going to be fractionally above the feet. Then in fact Kim Min-joo is going to go ahead first, even though it looks like Yewon is a little further back. Min-joo playing ready golf. You love to see it. She's got 103. Oh, that's a very good one. That is a brilliant shot. Might be the spark she needs to try and get herself back in the hunt. Now Yewon set to play from a yard further back. Thought that was going to bounce off Min-joo's ball for a second, but scampers through a little for Yewon. Seromi, the flattest of the three lies, but got to challenge that bunker if you want to take the direct line. A sensible play. And long, never a bad thing there at 9. Suji on the 11th. 239, maybe a touch too far back to go for this green. Ji-hyun start the back 9 off this raised tee at 10. To put together a brilliant round Friday afternoon to get herself into this penultimate group, but just kind of stuck in neutral since beginning the weekend. Couple birdies against a couple of bogeys on that front 9. Big kick in that fairway. Unlucky for that to scamper all the way into the left rough. Dial with a long one up the slope at 12 for birdie. Going to be see Seiromi first to putt, seen this particular rule a number of times. Just working a little from left to right. Pace is such an important factor on that putt. You saw E.G. Hyun's just a little too much, and Chan Su just a little tentative. We'll see if Seiromi can dial it in. Not bad. Just keeping in touch. That's all you need to do. Can't win it on Saturday. Just position yourself as best you can for a Sunday surge. Cured him. One hand off the club. Oh, didn't quite like it. That's why it's left, and oh goodness. Shades of what happened to her on 7 on Thursday. If you were with us for that opening round broadcast, went for the green in 2, clattered off a tree, actually did well to save bogey. She's going to have to hope that lightning strikes twice again. That first ball, I don't think you want to find it. A poor day for her, couple over par. And a mood unlikely to improve on the completion of this 10th. Provisional ball now for Saw. Now here's Yewon from the left fringe of the 9th. Dialing in her pace very nicely, leaving herself very little stress for the par putts. Suji's third. You know, she can generate plenty of spin with these wedges. Contact sounded good. How's that first bounce? Oh, got that to stick on a dime. Surely Suji going to be taking it to 11 under par very shortly. After that fabulous second, can she convert? Build that momentum back up again. Just one of those days, isn't it? Sometimes those are real gut punches. Play a really good hole and you just can't quite get the job done. Frustrate you to no degree. That really ugly run of bogeys from 3 through 5, stalling her significantly. Dayan for her par after coming up short. Nicely done. That's on the flip side, that's a real momentum saver. Tidy scorecard, scrambling away for par. No wonder Idayon is all smiles. Here on day 3 at the Aurora World Championship. It's Suji and Yewon, one clear of E.G. Hyun. ENG looking live for EG here at 10. Got to watch that grass doesn't wrap around the hosel and shut that club face down. Kind of like that. Just got a little bit of chase through that rough, but work cut out to try and save par now. Coming out of the rough on the opposite side of the fairway. Lie doesn't look quite as thick, and certainly the angle a lot better to try and chase this back right flag. Pitched it in the perfect spot, killed it in the upslope. That is a fabulous effort from there. So Suji for the outright lead ahead at the par 5. Kim Soo-ji hits the front, 6 birdies on the day and not showing any signs of slowing down. So 9 holes left to play for the final group on Saturday. Year 1 will lead them off the tee at the par 4 10th. Just into the left rough, but you can see the top third of the balls. The lie doesn't look too bad. One of those times where you just got to tell yourself, okay, let's split this into 2 9s. Front 9 was poor, that's done. Let me try and put the best 9 holes I can together, and that is not gonna help. Oh, that is a huge break. I don't think it came off a spectator. It looked like it bounced off that little curb. That's the kind of good break that Kim Min-joo needs for the day that she's having. Down to the green and long pitch for E G Hyun. Don't think she needs to run this up the slope. She's got enough room where she can pitch it onto that top step and let it chase on. Try and keep this one down the right half, protect against the trouble left. That's what she's done. Good tee shot. That's going to get a little extra chase. Back to E for par. Bit of movement from the right. Oh, bravely hold. Had to work for it, and that's going to feel good. Keeps herself at 9 under. So, tournament leader Kim Soo-ji has reached the 12th tee. So that whole location, that is solid. We saw Soo-ji roll one in from off the edge of the green here at 10. Chang Min-soo's on the green. That's going to be a nice predictable roll. Should be moving from left to right. Just sort of staying fairly straight in the last 2-3 feet. But a really good chance. She's hit some really good putts today. Hasn't had much to show for it. All did everything but go in. Saw her pull it into some big trouble off the tee. It's now for double bogey for Sokyo Rim. Unfortunately heading in the opposite direction thus far on Saturday. To record a birdie, she slips out of the top 20. Kim Min-joo with the ice pack, trying to stay cool in this heat. Trying to calm herself down as well. Hasn't made a birdie since her opening hole. I don't think she knows how lucky she got with that tee shot to finish in this spot. She's actually drawn a pretty decent lie to boot.
살짝 열부분에 다 쳐줘요. 방향은 살짝 우측 들어가도 돼.
Just
지지목까지
with her
괜찮은
club
거니까.
head speed and general ball flight, the only risk that Yewon runs if she does elect to try and carry this onto that middle shelf is she catches a bit of a jumper, it comes out a little knuckly on her, it's going to go rolling through the back of the green. Won't be surprised to see her flight one down, try and land at the front and get it running. Need to gouge in after that one. Finds the green, but two putt no guaranteed from that spot. Perfect position now for Kim Se-romi to try and attack at 10. She's had that follow through a couple of times. Just looks like she gets a little stuck and then tries to flip at it at impact, save it. Easy to do when you're in a situation where the body tenses up a little. Just not quite releasing through impact as fluidly as you normally would. It's actually not a bad spot at all where this tee shot's come to rest. Took off on a good line. But just a big, firm first kick. Not too bad there. Lie doesn't look horrible. So it's Dion now on 13. Another chance for birdie. Oh, and she's got it. Tell you what, Dion and Kim Soo-ji putting on a show in the groups up ahead. Soo-ji 6 under for the day. Dion now 5 under for the day. She goes up to 9 for the tournament. Can you imagine it? Year 1, Dion, Kim Soo-ji final group tomorrow. Wouldn't that be something? Speaking of Soo-ji, here she is back at 12, trying to stretch that lead. Not this time. It's a little tiddler left for her part. Tee at 11. Jin find this fairway. Tempted to reach in two. Su opting for the 3 medal, just protecting against that ball running through the fairway at 240. The 3 medal, that was like a hybrid club. And then the most important thing, on the short grass. Grass laying into her slightly, so this one's going to come out pretty slow for Kim Min-joo. Got to keep accelerating through impact. Did that nicely. Played that brilliantly. Down. It's birdie she needs if she wants to keep pace with the torrid scoring of the ladies up ahead. Soo-ji, this little tester for her par. Just wants to move fractionally from right to left, so just inside right edge with pace. Yep. Makes it look so easy when she's in full flight. Kim Soo-ji stays 1 shot to the good. On the previous screen how good her pace control has been so far this weekend. It's going to be under pressure here for 10th in year 1. Healthy amount of swing from right to left, also working a little uphill in the first portion of this putt. A spot where it's so hard to hit it far enough to the right. You almost have to send that ball off onto the fringe at its apex. So year 1 with a testy putt of her own to try and save par. Made her fair share of those yesterday in her round of 67. Back up towards the 11th fairway. The penultimate group sizing up their seconds. Zhang and Su first to play, just going to be a 3-shotter for her. So a long iron out, lay it up down that sliver of fairway right of the water. The tee shot has come to rest on a rather severe downhill slope, which, as we've noted, that ball's coming off on a slightly lower trajectory. Not exactly helpful when you've got a little water to clear. We're going to take a direct line at the green. So the play for her really is just out to the right, maybe even just a layup, not even considering. Pulled out that iron. Let her ponder that as we go to Seiromi on 10. Certainly looking far enough to the right. Can she hit it hard enough to get it through that fringe? That's going to rip away low left as well. And a much better effort than EA1. Really good effort, in fact, from Seiromi. Beautifully mapped out. So Kieran has caught the bunker off the tee, so she's going to play this as a 3-shotter too. 3 over for her round today. Lady who's won twice this season on tour. She left that too far right, I wonder. We'll see when the camera crew get down to their third shots. Places that ball very nicely down the center stripe. Here one. Pop up now. Very nicely handled. It's another one of those 8-10 foot putts which he pops in without much difficulty. Good 2-putt from there. Suji a hit at the par 5 13th. She'll come up the hill to this raised green, leading by 1. It's like you're pitching that ball on a ping pong table. The bounce is so firm. Still have a birdie look. A couple of third shots standing by for these 3 ladies. Su first to go. Want to get it close to the spring. You really have the chance pitching it between the edge of the bunker and that pin. CP showed us how to do it earlier. We'll see if Zhang and Su can copy. Yeah, pretty good. Very nicely struck. You can tell how much spin on the ball. He pegged it nicely. To another player who's been flying this back nine, Idayan, second into 14 from the rough. Made the decision to lay it up, and kind of gets away with a bit of a squirmy third. There she has it, just falls the wrong side of the ridge, and it's going to keep working away from the pin. It's going to be a birdie putt though. On the tee box, the 0-1, we saw her hit a beautiful little smooth driver yesterday right to the edge of the fairway, and then had to somehow make hard work of it for a par. See if she can do better this time on Saturday. Not too far left this time, into the rough she goes. I don't think we're going to see a driver from Minju. No, it is a driver. She absolutely clubbed this one. She could run through the fairway. I imagine it's going to be one of those sort of smoothies from Kim. Perfect now if it just hits the handbrake, which it will. Now the turn of Sokyorin. 2 has her driver. Unlucky. First bounce was a little left, and surely going to be a layup coming up for Seromi. Excellent golf from Kim Soo-ji. Sees her lead by 1 on the back nine Saturday here at the Aurora Resort. Slow first portion of the putt, then really crawls on after that. And 11 for EG here, just about gets it inside of 3 feet. I just wonder if the line was better with that tee shot. Would she have gone for the green and two? I guess we'll never know. But Soo Ji, who's been on a heater lately. Another one here on 13. Had that tracking nicely, just putting good aggressive rolls on it. You see, even when they're not going in, and they're rolling maybe a foot and a half, 2 feet past the hole, shows me she's putting and playing with a lot of confidence. Back to 11 for Jung Eun-soo's birdie putt. This one just petering off to the right as it loses speed towards the cup. Straight shove. You can see it straight off the putter face. Ball started right off her target line. It's a game of fine margins golf. Anyone who's played this infuriating pastime will tell you just that. Well, back up the fairway. Surely just a layup upcoming for Kim Se-ro-mi. Not going to even challenge. Green from that thick line in the rough. You can see it there. You can barely see her club hit, in fact. That's left quick. Needs to get down. Oh no. Wow. Just a really thick line. That can happen sometimes. Mentioned a little earlier on. Cross. Wraps around the hosel, shuts the club face down, and that ball just heads straight left. Yeah, one. Dealing with thick rough. We just want to tighten the grip pressure a little bit in that lead hand, her left side, so it doesn't feel the same. She's taken no chances, well outright. Most importantly, onto the fairway. Ji-hyun for par ahead on the green. Here's Daeon. A slow putt on the 14th up the ridge for her birdie. Trying to get there. Almost did. Good pace from there. Yep, as expected, all systems go for Kim Min-ju. Downhill line, ball a little below her feet, but not as bad as E.G. Hyun's. It's gone out low, needs to go. I think that's just caught the bunker. Which actually isn't a terrible miss. Soo Ji putting her hand over her shoulders, just trying to make sure she's all squared, lined up to her target line. So it's been part of her routine. That it served her pretty well throughout her career. To 12. Jung Eun-soo, 153-meter par 3, pin cut on that right-hand side. Helping Bree so hard to get that hybrid to stick. Not a bad leave though, just over the back of the green. That second shot, pretty much diving straight left. She's taken the penalty drop, marking the point where her ball last crossed the margin of the penalty area, and then keeping that point between herself and the hole, going as far back as she wants. She'll be playing her fourth from a long ways back, but at least she's in the fairway. It looks like she's given herself a bit of an uphill lie as well. To get up and down from there. Drop just one. Here's EG here. Just trying to hit some kind of soft cutting hybrid. Pitches about 15-20 feet onto the green. That's how you get it close on 12, but you take anything pin high left about 25 feet. Die on 15, coming out of the fairway this time, so we'll have a lot more control on it. So, yeah, one's third, still looking quite a bit right, so she's trying to sling a pitching wedge in here, maybe try and use that slope about 15 feet to the right of the hole. That sounded a little clunky. That was a very interesting situation there. Maybe the line wasn't good in the fairway. She just didn't want a chance catching one heavy and ending up in the penalty area. Regardless, she's got a tough two-putt from where that's ended up. Yeah. You can carry this onto the green. Pitch comes towards you. So it should be a pretty soft first bounce, then kicks right. That slips away from her a little bit. Jung Eun-soo with another lanky par putt. Looks like she's actually skipped through the bunker, so with that little tuft of rough, play this with an open club face, carry it onto that downslope just past the fringe, have it feed on from there. Just absolutely clobbered it. It's had hardly any touch around the greens today. Kim Min-ju, difference from the player we saw through the first 27 holes of this championship. Chipping it from the fringe, EG here. First bounce is going to be hard left. And just didn't quite hit it hard enough. Suji on 14, down the edge of the fairway. Another stunning shot, another glorious shot from Kim Soo-ji. fifth shot at the par 5 for Seromi. Steady up, yeah, a little further on, and that one could have caught that slope that caught out E.G. Hyun. Babat for Jamin Su. And with Suji in birdie barrage mode up ahead, and he's become pretty critical. Giving up too much ground. Yeah, costly little error for Jamin Su. Especially with Suji in tight up ahead. Could be sailing off into the distance if she's not careful. For birdie, right the ridge line. We'll take it downhill and then sweep off to the right. There's something about this 11th hole that seems to get in her head. I see a lot of players taking advantage with birdies. She's been struggling for pars the last couple of days. Back up to 12 and E.G. Hyun for her par. Yeah, well done. Good save. Dayon. Left to right on 15 for birdie. After the tee shot that she hit, I think she thought she was going to have a birdie putt of this length, but nonetheless that's what faces Kim Min-joo. They are really making a mess of this 11th. That one was rolling on past for Kim. Dayon trying to keep pace just for par. Just creeps it in. Well done. That's another good two-putt for Lee Dayon. She's just plodding away within 2 shots of Kim Soo-ji. This year one for a big par-saving putter for Roan. This looks like it wants to go right, but you know it moves a little left at the hole. There it is, snaps left, and all of a sudden Kim Soo-ji has a 2-shot cushion. Gotta be honest, did not see that coming from EO1, who's looked really solid this week. A couple of poor shots trying to catch up with her. Here's Soo-ji. Stretch that lead even further. Here's a chance on 14 to take it to 12 under par. Just a left edge putt with good holding speed. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Kim Soo-ji 7 deep on the day, 4 holes to play. She leads by 3 with Yewon's bogey on the 11th. Not good news if you're Kim Se-ro-mi, who, remember, started the day 2 shots behind the 36-hole leader Kim Min-ju, but this is a bogey putt. And even if it does go, she's going to drop back to 6 under par. That would be a share of 7th with the likes of Ko Ji-won, who's done for the day after a 69. Jung Yoo-ji, who's got 3 holes left to play. A bit of an expensive passage of play. Kim Se-ro-mi. Get even more expensive because that is now a double bogey 7. Ouch. Up to 13 and Lee Ji-hyun. Kind of a group falling out of position slightly. They're a hole behind these girls now. Drew pouring over this par putt will do little to help with that lagging speed of the final 3 ball, but you can understand why this big par saving putt. Don't want to give up any more shots. A day that has really tested her patience. Boy, 3-putt from out of the blue. Min-ju spending her chances on Saturday. That was a 1-shot lead. And this goes in, it's going to turn to a 5-shot deficit. We saw Bang Shin-sil get close to this green in 2 all week long. Most of these girls just have to accept the fact they're going to be hitting wedges from anywhere from 65 yards to like 110 for their thirds. So Romain going to sign for an ugly 7 on 11. What to think about for year 1? 5-iron should be a good club for her here, especially with the helping breeze. Need to keep it left of this flag. So you can run into some trouble if you're a little too aggressive with this par 3. But you will know that. Very wise campaigner. 10 victories on tour. Former Rookie of the Year, former Player of the Year, money list winner. She knows how to get the job done.
하겠습니다.
Looking at the pin there, just prudently out towards the middle of the green. Still runs through the back edge though. What the mental state of Kim Min-ju is right now. It's just happened. Another time in 2026, you look like you're just cruising, and then you have a day like this where you all just can't seem to go right. Speaking of going right, this might be heading a little too far right. Nope, it's okay. Crests the ridge and somehow ends up in a pretty good spot. They'll need chip a high little hybrid in there. Just a little bit more balanced over it. There's one left of the flag. Needs to settle. Needs to settle. And yeah, that's going to be okay. Ji-hyun. Just a layup for her. This 13th. It's been a pleasant, albeit slightly warm afternoon at the Aurora Resort. Suji's lead has swelled to 3 over Lee Daeyeon, Lee Ji-hyun, and Ye-won. rough on 16. Contact sounded okay. And the result is acceptable. Kim Min-joo after that good little tee shot on 12 has a chance to recover after the clumsy 3-putt. It's not going to hurt the card. Those 4 bogeys sure did. Lee Daeon bunkered here, flirted with some trouble. Nice. Good solid shot for E. Could have done with a club more, but again, absolutely no harm there. Literally a slippery one from the back portion of this 2-tiered green at 13. Just not giving yourself good looks at birdies. Not going to find too many from this range. That needs to hit the handbrakes. It's a terrifying putt. That back edge just looks like it's going down a cliff. Here's Yeowon for par. A little left on her. Oh, stays straight. And that's back-to-back bogeys for Yeowon. Back-to-back 3-putts for a lady who has been inside the top 10 on the putting statistical category at the end of every season, bar 1. Tsuji lead looking very comfortable. Here she is on 15. Completing with a 2-putt from this point. It's pretty rapid from the back edge of the green coming down towards this pin. Oh, she somehow found a way to leave that short. She'll face a tester of her own. Yeah, nice way to get a little respite from the heat. Little reclining chair, little shade. A little breeze wouldn't hurt. That is one of many great spots to be taking in the action here on the closing hole at Aurora Resort. Now to Daeon. There's a couple holes back on 16 for birdie. Ooh, got half a chance. It was tracking nicely. Two-putt par. Will do just fine. Tsuji stood up to the task every time she's had a saver for par. She's up to the task here on 15. Nope. Missed it right early, and she will suffer her first bogey of the day. We're seeing a couple of mistakes from the top few on the leaderboard, but it's still that lady who remains in control this Saturday afternoon. Lee Ji-hyun trying to save par back on 13. Seeing a lot of putts for par, not very short ones. And that's nicely managed. Just falls in over the front edge with dying breath. Good 2-putt for Lee Ji-hyun. 3 putts never feel good, but she can still take solace in the fact that she's comfortably in control of this championship. 13T, final group. As long as the two playing partners got to make sure she keeps that right. One-handed follow through. Still finds the fairway. Just. Year one. He's leaking oil since making the turn. Now back at 8 under. Over for her round today, and leading like that one's a little right. A couple of bogeys, but Suji still leads by 2. It's just going to be a layup for Minju on the 13th. She's pushed that up to, I'd say, about 65 odd meters from the pin. One will be hoping for a similar result, also going with her 3-wood. To 14T, and EG Yoon has found herself in a share of second with a couple of those ahead of her dropping shots. CG just trying to steady the ship now after her first blemish of the weekend. Here she is on the middle of 16. The wedge for 107. Beautiful. That little blip back to her best here on the par 4. That's all the players can see. Standing back down in 13 fairway. Those extra long flag sticks as well. Just shows you the elevation that they have to come up. Tack on another 12-15 yards onto your stock yardage. Really, there's a little bit more room past the flag. Year 1. Heavy poor shot. So if Minju can fare any better, she'll be next to play. Sensibly going past that flag. Not going to be the short birdie putt she wanted, but this is barely coming up short like year 1. Extensive repair work needed to be done on this 13th fairway, so you do get a couple of sandy lies every now and then. There's area, 63 meters left for Zero Mi. A little skinny, but should get some check. Yep, pretty good. She's getting used to playing off downhill lies today. EG here, 14 from that left rough. A lot of territory to come across. She's chipping it too. Try to take that slope out of place, send it up on that shoulder right, and then come on down. Not bad. Give her 6.5 out of 10 from there. She pops that in. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Su. Have a decent look coming up on the 14th. Killed him, who really had such high hopes coming into the weekend. At 6 under par, inside the top 5, trying to cut into that Kim Min Sol lead in her absence this week. It's been a bit of a frustrating afternoon at the office for Sol, who's 3 over par. Still a couple holes to play, try and get it back to 6, and you never know come Sunday. For par on the last. Yeah, good up and down, good save for Park Hyun Kyung. It started off so promisingly, but the double on 12 and a bogey on 13 ultimately lead her to a 74. And one thick lie off the upslope. Pretty severely pitched green towards her. I'll try and land this one soft. Too soft. Fortunately in danger of maybe dropping 3 in a row. Suchi for the bounce back birdie on 16. Gentle movement to the right. Has a chance to put a little daylight between herself and the chasers. 2 holes to go. Jung Min-soo, a couple of holes back on 14 for birdie. See, some of these pins are in trickier spots today because good putts like that, they are skating on by with a couple of feet. We've seen a lot of 3 putts. We've seen a couple of mistakes. That's at the Aurora Resort. And here's Minju with a sneaky quick one for birdie on 13. Too far outside the right edge, and she knew it. Oh boy, that's going to miss the green. Oh, that is absolutely inexcusable. Clumsy, far too clumsy for Kim Min-joo. Well, for the first birdie of the day, Kyorim on 14. Oh, never a bad time to make your first one. Good birdie there for Sol Kyo-rim. Moves it back to 4 under par. Never a good feeling when you're putting one moment and then chipping for your next shot. Minju now with her 5th. Of the day. Didn't see that coming. Let's go to the last with Jung Yoon-ji, who's finally having a pretty productive moving day out on the golf course. Finds herself within striking distance. That one travelling deep to the back of 18 green. Going to be a tricky two-putt from there. Enough pace on it for EG here. She's just kind of hanging in there. Not making a ton of birdies, but not making any big mistakes either. At the moment, she could be in that final group tomorrow afternoon. Still a lot to be decided over the coming hour or so. Let's see the meet. Going to steady herself. Just seeing Kim Min-joo butt it off the green. I don't expect this to be travelling with too much speed. That was positively struck. Oof. But she thought for a moment that might befall a similar fate to Min-joo's, but stays on the green. And soothe the par up ahead. Hold out. So that one to avoid 3 bogeys in a row. Seeing Graces, at least this one's coming uphill and should be comfortable for her, moving from right to left. Off it again. The line starting to race a little for Lam Yewen. Right. Steals herself and pours it in for par. Stops the bleeding for now. Just slides in the right edge for Seromi's par on 13. Here's Idayon. Just off the edge at the par 3 17th. Pretty makeable little chip, you have to say, coming in from this angle. Wants to kick the left, wants to hit to the green, then should roll pretty straight on towards the pin. Give it a decent try. That's going to be another solid par. Don't see many players hitting this 15th fairway. It's so tricky the way it cambers. It's really not going to help if you tug it into that big slope left where we saw Bang Chun-sil yesterday. Zhang Yanji back of 18 green. Got to send this one out high to the right and then watch it ride the slope back down towards the pin. Players turning back into a bit of breeze now off 15, so playing a touch longer than it has previously. And that's a fairway found for Zhang and Su. Let's go to 17, and playing in the company of Irayon is Park Ye-ji. Bogeyed her final hole yesterday for an even par round of 72. She's level on the day so far and will have that par putt to keep things that way. Here's Choi Yun-woo on 18. Great second to get her into this position. Chance for a closing three. And she will have a closing three. Nice way to end the day. 71 for Choi. Sneaks herself inside the top 10 with 18 holes to play. Sailor Me going with driver off 14. Exactly where you want to be. Swing certainly looks a little bit more synced up than it was when we first came on the air towards the end of their front nine. And the other one trying to challenge that bit of trouble down the right. She'll find that narrow little landing strip as well. Very good tee shot.
Shot.
Three excellent tee shots there on 14 for the final group. It's Kim Soo-ji who sits at the top of the leaderboard. All three ladies in this final three ball over par for their rounds and struggling on moving day. Zhang Yanji has left herself a lot to do for par on 18. Stands up quickly No point in either of those two putts was she ever starting that ball high enough to the right. So a bit of a disappointing way to end the day with that 3-putt. All in all, a pretty solid afternoon for Jung. To Sunday at 6 under par. Now Unsu coming uphill into this 15th green. All sorts of uncomfortable now for EG. He's going to have a lot of weight on her toes, and again, downhill lie going to be coming out low and flat. The thick stuff she's chopping it out of as well. She'd take anything on the putting surface, if we're being honest, from this light. She'd happily take that. Your rim after that little bonus birdie back on the previous hole. She's found the fairway here on 15 and let's keep her foot on the gas pedal. Comfortable pitching wedge of her, especially playing a little uphill. Some extra stopping power on this one. Now, park it right there, Sokyo Rim. That's the player that we come used to seeing on the KLPGA Tour in 2026. So, championship leader steps up to the 17th tee with a 5-iron. Plenty of beautiful shots today. Kim Suji shaping it so nicely. She'll have a good look coming up on 17. Now back to Yewon. Okay, pretty good. I'd be gobsmacked if she had a par putt from outside of 6 feet from there. That's a pretty good shot. After that good tee shot, chance to get her feet under her again. 13 to go. Through that one nicely, little abbreviated follow through, punching one in there and sticking it to about 8 feet. That's more like it from this final group. This would very much been a shot in the arm for Kim Se-ro-mi, putting for birdie on 14, not going to get there. Just looked a little out of sorts, looked a little out of her depth today. And with this final threesome. Still a lot to play for this weekend for Se-ro-mi. Good chunk of change and plenty of KLPGA to a point as well. To the last, and Idayon. Not seen many be able to hold it in the front segment of this green. Can Idayon do it? High carving cut to the front target, and that's more like it. Beautiful shot from a seriously impressive player. You're going to be chipping it from the fringe back on 15, excuse me. And again, just doing enough to give herself pretty simple par savers. This ball comes over just a very gentle little spine, kicks left early and then picks up pace around the mid portion of the putt, so that'll be in the back of her mind. Too much respect to that second portion of the putt. How a little awful 4-footer remaining for par. Suji for another one on 17. Looking putt for a right-handed golfer. Up the hill, drifting a little. Stayed straight on her. Good try though. It's a pretty good shot. It's been a well-played hole so far, but can she cap it off? This is a birdie chance. Just doesn't come back from out there. Shot in the jaws. That is frustrating. One for par. Gotta keep your pace up here. Nicely popped in. Back-to-back birdies for Seo Rim. That's where she's been all day long, recovering nicely to move back inside the top 10. Had plenty of pace on it. Good effort from Lee Daeyeon.
Yeah.
Chucks off another par. Holding her ground, EG Hyun, seeking a first tour title. Will it come this week? She's going to have to run down some major quality players in the shape of Kim Soo-ji and this lady, Lee Daeyeon. We'll go into the final round at 9 under par, bogey free, 67 on moving day. Lee Daeyeon, 9 victories already on tour. A 10th this time tomorrow afternoon. Seems to have found a bit of rhythm again. Kim Min-ju, good tee shot there on the 15th. Priority number one for year one is to find a way to get back into that final group tomorrow. Yes, this round's gotten away from her a little bit over the last hour and a half or so, but you've got to keep your focus, also keep yourself motivated, and that would be a nice little target for her to shoot for. You want to be in that position on Sunday. You want to be able to react to any moves up ahead. You want to be able to stare into the eyes of the leader, match him shot for shot. She's going to need a couple of birdies over the last 4 holes to do that. Get to 16, EG Hyun. Shortest to a par 4 this. Keep it in the short grass, you're going to have no more than wedge coming into the screen. She would have really expected much more from today, particularly given her start. Double bogey on 8, never really had the chance to recover. Has dropped another couple of shots since then, and will have that putt to remain 4 under and 2 over for this third round. We go to former Singapore Women's Open champion Kim Jae-hee. She's 4 under par and getting her second into the last. The rough, that is outstanding. Back to Jang Eun-soo on the 16th. Soo-ji looks like a slightly thicker line than the one that Kim Jae-hee had. She's also got a 9-iron. Love to replicate that shot. Trying to level best, and it's pretty good. Craft herself a good look. She will. Brilliant from Lee Ji-hyun. She stayed patient. She's been scrambling away with pars, but now has an excellent opportunity coming up on 16 as we go back to the left rough on 15. Kim Se-ro-mi in another uncomfortable spot of bother. Frying pan and into the fire. That's going to be a tough up and down. This one down Minju, yeah, and for good reason, all over it. And Minju for par at 17, and to prevent any further damage to that card. Oh boy. She was one off the lead when we came on air. And walking up to the 18th tee, she's going to be 8 shots behind Kim Soo-ji. Year one, last to play on 16. Got to fly this at least pin high. There's a little false front, couple of paces short of this pin. Yeah, beautiful. Very good. That's more like it from EA1. Jang Eun-soo hit on 16 with his birdie attempt. Pretty good weight on that putt. Se-ro-mi looks like she's actually outside of the bunker. She's got a clean lie off the upslope. That is a good break, but if it's really sitting down, those situations where you might be better off in the sand, we'll have to see. But good news is she's got a reasonable amount of green to work with. It runs away from her though, so this has got to be coming in pretty high and soft. It was a pretty thick lie. That one came out a little lower than I expected. There's a chance to save par. Could she possibly make 3 in a row? This is Seo Rim on 16. Oh, she can! Where has this been all afternoon, she is wondering. That moves her into a share of 5th at 6 under. Beautiful birdie. Is it just me, or has pace of play fallen off the edge of a cliff all of a sudden? When we came on air almost 3 hours ago, some 2 hours and 45 minutes ago, these ladies were on the 7th. Taken, what, 2 hours and 45 minutes to play not even 9 holes. That is excruciating. Understand it though. Trickier pins and not good golf don't particularly help ladies play quick. Inju, it's just all over the place right now. Putted it off the green at 13 and leaving that birdie putt well short on 15. Here's E.G. Hyun, big putt to move to 10 under. And she drains it. Brilliant birdie from E.G. Hyun. Had to stay very patient, but she collects a third birdie of the day. Moves into solo second. 10 under par. So for the moment, that trims this lady's lead to just one. But Suji with 2 putts from here. Very happily signed for a 67 to go into Sunday at 11 under. It's got to hurry. It's got to hurry. Yeah, great touch. Seromi heading for par. It's been a tough all day, but no doubt good learning opportunity for Kim. How to deal with the nerves when she gets into a similar spot again in the future. Let's go back to 18 and see if Kim Jae-hee can end her day on a high note. Yes, she can. Nice closing birdie there. The adventurous road to an even par 72. Pouring over a par putt. Safely in. She tends to do more often than not. She'll take her time over this one, year one, but really don't need to overthink this, don't need to overread it. Keep it inside edge. Just bang it into the back of the cup. Good birdie opportunities like these have been few and far between on the back nine. In for 3. Ship has been steadied. Yeowon returns her tally to 9 under. Suji is going to Sunday at 11 under. Okay, good 2-putt, barring that blemish. 66 has been excellent for Kim Soo-ji, who's gotten better and better every day and looks to be the lady who will lead with 18 holes to play. How about this comeback from Seo Kyo-rim? 3 over and struggling, and then 3 birdies in the bounce back to 6 under par. Here she is on 17. Want to look a little left of the target. Don't need to be too greedy here with a hybrid. Not the right line, but that'll just fall off the edge of the green into the rough. Why does it look horrible though for Ji Hyun?
다른 방향은 11시에 슬라이스 났어. 컨택만 나오면 많이 짧진 않아. 그러면 괜찮아. 여기서 떨어지지. 그냥 살짝 왼쪽.
Jamin Su also with the hybrid club. Still yet to see a hole-in-one recorded this week at the Aurora World Championship. It's going to release a little. It's going to release a little more. Stay the right side of that slope. Ooh, it might just creep into the fringe as we drop back to 16 and year one.
Okay, shot.
Suji in the clubhouse after that spectacular 66. Dion in with 67. Lee Ji Hyun out on the golf course at 10 under par with 2 holes left to play. Club face wide open, play it like a bunker shot out of that thick lie. The string of birdies has come to an end. Let's hope Sokyo Rim can roll that one in to save a par on 17 as we go back to 18. And we've seen Park Hyun Kyung get it up and down from this position. Let's see if Minji can do the same. Further left than Hyun Kyung's, but traveling with a little bit more pace. He's going to have a putt from, ooh, dear, 15, 20, 25 feet now for a par to end what has been a pretty miserable afternoon. Yuji Hyun, simpler little chip, much cleaner lie. And 17, a little scuttler along the ground. Very tidy display of short game touch from Lee Ji-hyun. She and Lee Dae-yeon on the first two pages of the leaderboard are bogey-free thus far on Saturday. But that'll need to settle. Needs to settle. Just stays on the green. So they'll move from the right rough. He knows the dangers that getting that hosel entangled in the long grass can cause. There's a bunker shot if he's not careful. Sounded like came off the club face pretty high. But had plenty of stick on it. Just into the fringe. Not bad.
안 봐도 되겠다. 넘어가게.
Full control over this coming from the fairway. Breeze has settled down a little, so can pretty much just play a stock 9 iron. You want to be pitching this somewhere around 111, 112. Don't land the spin high, we know how firm these greens are. Off the green, but still a decent place to be putting from. Took a big hop coming off the putter face. Maybe just knocked a little pace off it. But for An Song-yi will be coming off that high point of the 18th green. She's at 4 under. Par putt now for Kyorim on 17. Another one putt. Flat stick has heated up. And that keeps her level. She's made 5 threes in her last 6 holes. That's some pretty good scoring. Well, the flip side of that coin, here's Park Min-ji trying to save par on the last. So they'll be not in any great hurry to try and figure things out here. As EO1 calls for rules official, I suspect she just might be checking if she gets relief from being in that edging groove. Run along the perimeter of many of the greens at the Aurora Resort. The imperfection actually doesn't look like she's anywhere near that edging groove. Or it's a putt ahead, going to be affected by it. Seems like whatever the query was, no relief has been given. So we say, oh me. And Minju will have their cracks first. Minju will be showing Kim the line. Brilliant effort. Really nice roll. Still only a par. Birdied her opening hole. That's been it. Kim Min-ju so far on Saturday. Back to 18 and Park for bogey. Pretty flat afternoon for Park Min-ji, dropping 3 in her last 4 as well. 76. That 21st KLPGA Tour title to break the deadlock with Kuoki and Shin Ji-ai. We'll have to wait another week. Let's go back to 16 for Kim Se-ro-mi. Just got the perfect teach on the line from her playing partner Kim Min-ju. She'll miss it on the low side still. Decent attempt. Just one hole left to play, and the breeze looks like it's returned straight into her face, coming off the left. Oh, the double cross, that one heading left. Oh, that could have been disaster. Still not going to be the easiest of up and downs, but it was arguably her worst swing she's put on it all day long. Year one. Going to be bobbling a little through that fringe, but it is technically still a putt for birdie. Not too bad there. I think it's going to be too tough of an examination for her to save par. Sue at the home hole. Toss one up high in the air, and that is really nicely done. Just going through the formalities for her par putt on this 16th. Flirted with the cart path, saw Cura in, but don't need to get relief from it. Penultimate tee shot for Kim Min-joo. Squeeze that little hybrid, keep it left of the target, use the slope. If that happens to go a little too far out, you take a direct line, that front portion of you just hits it right. Well, we're not signing her up for the Speed Golf Championships anytime soon, are we? Had the honour, but Min-joo doing the right thing when you're slightly out of position. Just playing ready golf. You're up on the tee. Have a crack. Year one. So going through her numbers. Got the similar club to Kim Min-joo. Going with that hybrid. See if she can do the right thing. Keep it left of that pin and use that slope. It's there to help you access this whole location.
안쪽까지는 써도 되는 거야?
Ji-hoon's third, up ahead at 18. To land this short of the green, try and bump it through the fringe. Steady. Kind of have the par putt that Park Min-ji had earlier on. pulled the trigger and she's keeping a look out at it. That's okay. Left half of the green leaves her a quick putt, but at least it's a putt. Try for Zhang and Su. Gotta hang high, I fear. It's easy to overread it when you're in that position on the green. Seiromi off the back of another bogey. She's last to play. It's okay that that's running through the back, but not difficult from where she's left that tee shot. Nice setting there at 18th green at the Aurora Resort. See if Sakyo Rim can somehow end her day under par after being 3 over through 10 holes. Gave her a 72 about 2 hours ago. She would have gladly taken it. Nice little fight back coming home for Sakyo Rim. We'll go into the final round at 6 under, still within touching distance. She'll be cutting into that lead of Kim Min-sol atop the order of merit come week's end. Hyun. Professionals take a great measure of pride in bogey-free rounds. Birdied the first 2 holes to start the day. Picked up that great birdie on 16. This for a closing par that would feel better than all 3 of them. Oh, yes. Well done, E.G. Hyun. Clean card, 69. She'll be in the final group Sunday, chasing that first title. What a Saturday performance from her. Just had enough speed on it. She was begging, and it listened. Challenge just sort of petered out a little bit, but much like her playing partner Sakyo Rim at 6 under par, she puts in a low one tomorrow. We've seen a number of low rounds this week. You never know. Funny things can happen in the game of golf. Minju chipping up on 17 from the right rough. And this shot a couple of times today. That's nicely played. she's going to chip this into the back collar of rough, just interfering if she would try to putt it. Good try from Seromi. The other one, a putt that just sort of gradually falls right all the way. It's a little tricky depth perception-wise when they're cutting through some shadows. Just to remind you, that penultimate group has already completed their round. These ladies still back on 17. For context, they teed off at 10:50 local time here in South Korea. Just gone past 4:15 right now, so been at the golf course for almost 5.5 hours. I don't know about you, but that is a long time to be out on a golf course. The other one now for her par. It's going to be pars all around for this group on 17.
잘 쳤어. 잘 쳤어. 아, 잘 쳤어.
Oh, one final hole to play on what has been a rather long and arduous Saturday afternoon. Year one with the honour. Minju also going to go with driver. So many tee boxes here at the Aurora Resort. Pitched high into a hill, so you get a little extra hang time with your tee shots. Just into the left rough at the end of the row. It's a soft kick, but still not soft enough to keep Kim Se-ro-mi in the fairway. As the final group of the day make their way off the 18th tee, some 5.5 hours after their third rounds began. couple of calculations to work out. Thankfully, none of them involving rough around that ball for A1, as she has done so often throughout her career. She's kept that on the straight and narrow. She'll need every bit of spin to try and hold that ball in the front segment of the green where the pin's cut today. Currently sits at 9 under par, which, and 8 under par. 9 under par, excuse me. At the moment, he's a tie with Idayon, but Idayon would be in the final group. And that just carries the trouble. Idayon will be in the final group, courtesy of her being the first to return her scorecard. Good way to remember that is usually first in, last out. So yeah, one would need to hold that. Being the championship group again Sunday afternoon. Been a long day for everyone here at the Aurora Resort, particularly along with your Kim Se-Romi, who has just slowly leaked oil all the way coming home. Now finds herself at 4 under par and in the thick rough here on 18. But saves her best for last. What a shot that is. That is one of the best we've seen on this 18th, and it's come from a player who has really struggled in the spotlight today, Kim Se-Romi. Should she roll that in, she'll take a nice bit of confidence into tomorrow. Last to play Minju from a much thicker line. Look at just about the top quarter of the ball. 128 left. Muscle it out. Contact sounded good. High enough, soft enough. But still, that goes chasing on towards the back edge. to say it's Kim Min-ju who might be away, although Yeon right edge of the green, probably touch and go between the pair of them, but given Min-ju's propensity for quick play, she might very well stick her hand up and say, right, you go and take your time, I might have a roll. But no, on that camera angle, certainly looks like Yeon is further away, so she will play first, and it's going to be quite a bit of deciphering to do. She's putting through a little swale, so that ball going to be coming uphill in the last third of its journey, but just as it gets to the hole, the tilt of the green starts to run away from her a little bit, so tricky putt to work out pace-wise. Anything inside of 3 feet would be excellent from here. Starts to get quick from there. Beautiful touch from year one. Really nicely done. He thought she was just going to cruise on in. Wobble in the middle of the back nine. Gave her something to think about. Ultimately, it's a round of even par 72. She chases career victory number 11. Two back of Kim Soo-ji, though. Kim Min-ju, this putt's quick. Seen a number of occasions, and very tricky, because you have to really have the perfect marriage of pace and line. Seen a couple of players start it out just a fraction too high, and the pace of that putt just takes over, and it never hangs the left turn. But if you're not committed, boy, it rips left in a hurry. Remember Jung Yoon-ji's putt some hour ago. Start of the day with that one-shot lead. Birdied her opening hole, and it's been fairly miserable since for Kim. Got to start turning there. Got to try to turn. Yeah, pretty good. Seromi for an unlikely but very welcome closing birdie. Brilliant shot out of that left rough. This would certainly make dinner taste a little bit better for her. Nope. Never really had a chance. Disappointment on Saturday for Seromi, 76 this afternoon. Day in a share of third. She's going to start Sunday outside the top 10. Minju with what we can only hope is the final stroke of round three's play at the Aurora Resort. 5 hours and 50 minutes on the dot after these three teed off. Kim Min-joo, much like Kim Se-romi, 76 for her. Bit of a costly day. She'll start Sunday 5 shots behind Kim Soo-ji, who will take the lead into the final 18 holes here, seeking a 7th career title and a first at the Aurora Resort. The final round of the Aurora World Championship will come your way. Same time, same place tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a real shootout. Looking forward to your company then. Bye-bye for now.